Rocky Balboa is undoubtedly one of the most beloved characters in the world. Sylvester Stallone brings to life this character, who is the best boxer in the world. He was an icon for many people who saw him as an inspiration to change their lifestyle. Rocky has always been one of my favorite fictional characters. When I saw that promotional image with him drawn by Itagaki, I really thought he was going to appear in the series. Then I realized it was just a collaboration. That didn't stop me from creating a scenario where Rocky was officially introduced in the Baki series. Various historical characters have been introduced over the years in the series, so suppose Itagaki decides to parody this character in his manga. How strong would Rocky be in the Baki universe? I think this guy would be able to give Baki and the others a war. It would be great for him to be the main antagonist and have his own arc. And when I say antagonist, I don't mean he has to be the bad guy. There are several types of antagonists, and I think it's not necessary to totally change his personality. Although I would actually write him a bit more arrogant, not to the level of Ali Jr., but with a bigger fighting spirit. I would also erase his family. This way his only ambition would be to fight. Basically, he would be like the other characters in the series who seem to have no family and only think about fighting. Obviously, he would be far superior to Ali Jr. Itagaki would have to come up with an excuse to justify Rocky's absence from the boxing world. Recall that Retsu already had an arc as a boxer, and this character was never mentioned. So, it would be strange for Rocky to come out of nowhere now. I don't know, let's assume this guy quit fighting years ago and went to live away from society. Now, many years after his heyday, he comes back determined to get glory again. If I were Itagaki, I'd write a couple of chapters where everyone goes crazy about Rocky's return. The media wouldn't stop talking about him, and it would get the attention of Baki and his friends. I would like Rocky's first interaction with the main characters to be when they go to see him fight after a long time. In this case, the boxer would send an invitation to each of them, and although they didn't know him, he knew them very well and had been waiting to meet them in person. The reason for his return was that he had seen the father and son fight, and wanted to meet Baki and fight him. Team Baki agrees to watch this match. Rocky easily wins his match, but this doesn't seem to surprise the underground arena fighters. However, that wasn't all that was going to happen that night. Rocky challenges anyone from Team Baki to get in the ring and have an exhibition match with him. I would choose Doppo to be the man to welcome Rocky to the series. The God of War would step into the ring and agree to fight. His only condition would be that he was going to use karate. I have nothing against Doppo, but in this fight, Rocky would knock him out quickly. This would help Rocky to get the attention of Baki and the others. Defeating Doppo would be a good way to let the world know that he is not coming to play. Surely after seeing this, Baki and the others would be very excited and eager to fight this great boxer. From here, I think the plot would be somewhat similar to the previous ones. The fighters take turns trying to defeat the antagonist. I know it's a bit cliche, but unlike other series and Baki, this never gets boring. Personally, I would like Rocky to face Baki without having lost a single fight. By this, I mean he must defeat all the underground arena fighters before fighting Baki. If he loses just one fight before his fight with Baki, something similar to what happened with Ali Jr. would happen. The character would lose a lot of credibility. That's why we need him to defeat all his opponents, so that later in the main event, he can give us a great fight against Baki. What I would like to see in this case is for these guys to have 3 fights and Rocky wins the first one. The first fight would be in a boxing ring. In this fight, Rocky wins because Baki would be confident thinking that it was going to be a fight similar to the one he had with Ali Jr. The second fight would be an unofficial fight, that is, a street fight. In these circumstances, Baki defeats the boxer, but it would be in a controversial way. However, since there were no rules, no one could argue the result, so both would be tied and everything would be decided in the underground arena. Obviously, in the final fight, Baki wins, but Rocky would not look bad since he had won once. And in the second fight, the result had been controversial. This way, the credibility of a character like him is taken care of and would leave open the possibility of his return in the future. The truth is that all this is what I would have liked to happen with Ali Jr. At the beginning of the arc, it looked like he was going to be a major character, but we all know how this story ended. I would like to see Rocky have some good fights with the rest of the underground arena fighters, especially with Jack Hanma. I would like these two to face each other, and somehow the fight would end without a winner. This way, neither of them would look bad. Obviously, it wouldn't be the same as what happened with Yujiro versus Musashi. What happened in that fight is unforgivable. And about Yujiro Hanma, what would be his participation in this arc? Yujiro is a very complicated character. With him, you have to calculate very well everything you are going to do. What I would do is for him to have an interaction with Roki, similar to the one he had with Kihaya. For those who don't read the manga, let me explain. Yujiro met Kihaya at Tokugawa's house. This guy was supposed to be a strong sumo wrestler. Yujiro took an interest in him and gave him some advice. Then humiliated him, as he always does. I would do something similar, but I wouldn't want Yujiro to fight Roki, since the only option would be for the ogre to win the fight. We all know that Yujiro was created for the purpose of being the invincible character of the series, so it wouldn't make sense for anyone other than Baki or Jack to defeat him. What I would like is for Yujiro to recognize Roki as a worthy opponent for his son. It wouldn't make sense for the ogre to beat him up before his fight with Baki. Another character that would be interesting to see in the series would be Bruce Lee. It seems that Retsu is inspired by this man, but I would really like to see Bruce Lee portrayed as himself in the series. He would certainly be a very powerful fighter, I would say superior to Kakukayo. He is an eminence in martial arts, so he should have a power similar to Musashi Miyamoto. And unlike Roki Balboa, he could perfectly assume a villain role. Introducing characters from real life is already something common in series, but introducing characters from the cinematographic world is something not so common. Obviously, copyrights have a lot to do with this, otherwise everyone would be creating series with these characters. Anyway, Itagaki is very smart, so he would know how to parody this kind of characters in his manga. Who knows, maybe he would change their name and nationality, but they would still be them. I don't remember who asked me for this video in the comments. It was a long time ago, but finally, I bring it to you. Many of you have asked me for several videos, but lately I don't have much free time, so I will try to upload a single video answering some of your questions and requests, so stay tuned. But hey, don't forget to leave your opinion in the comment box. Tell me how you would introduce Roki Balboa in the Baki universe. Also tell me what other character from the cinematic universe you would like to see in the Baki series. And well friends, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you liked it. I hope you have a nice day or night. See you soon.